And hey, here we are. Bye. Maybe. Well, all the fans are on. I can hear them playing. I don't know if my noise suppression is working or not, but the air conditioning's not on because I have all the windows open, because it's sort of cool and weird here. And it's so strange. You get everything ready, starting 8:15, put up the promo, get that ready, restart the machine because, sirens, because you've been screen barfing. When you get ready to go, everything freezes. And then you got ready to go, restarted, everything is fine, minimum things are open. Go. Thank you, Gordon. I appreciate the love. And then you're live for 25 minutes, and you're sitting down, clicking go, and everything just freezes. I don't know what it is. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know what's happening. I don't know nothing. Now, usually when that barfs like that, when it freezes hard, I had to hard close Streamlabs, restart Streamlabs. And usually I go and I download a new version and then I restart the machine, but I thought, forget it. Let's just reopen it and see if it works and see what happens. So far, we're at 60 frames per second. Our CPU usage is 1%, which is fabulous. Our upload speed is 6,200 kilobytes a second, and we've lost no frames so far. So on paper, in reality, everything's great. Why is the stream freezing? I don't know. Nobody knows. Just messes everything up. So if this works, all I have to do is, close it and restart it, great. But it messes up my advertising because now I don't know when it's going to hit. And maybe it's important and maybe it's not. So it's very steamy in here. I don't know if I'm sweating, but I feel like I'm sweating. I could be sweating because I go back to the skin doctor today in a couple of hours, few hours, to get my 3 surgical incisions checked. It's been 2 weeks. All the scabs fell off after 1 week. Healing has been magnificent. I have a big divot here. It's okay. I'd rather have a divot than something sticking out and possibly being cancerous. It's just the negotiations you make with yourself and with all the energy of the world. Maybe I'll have blue light therapy today. I don't know. Maybe he'll find more things to cut off, which I would prefer. I haven't told him I do a live stream and I look at my skin every day and it's like, oh. He tells me I have beautiful skin. He says, you get compliments on your skin, right? And I said, no. I stay at home and wear a mask when I go out. Nobody sees my skin. But maybe I should tell him about the live stream. Not that he'd care or know about it. Well, hey, in NYC, hey, NFT.NYC is going on live and in person. I should show you that because it's kind of fun. But very quiet. Now that it's started, I guess everybody's filled their need to have people show up and say hi, which is fine. But before we do that, let's just check out the price of Ethereum right now. Oh, baby. Oh, Nelly. As Keith Jackson used to say, the bigger glaze. Oh, Nelly, look. It's down $1,000. Now, the crypto's crashing. The Coinbase laid off 1,000 people. They're fired 800 people. Everybody's laying off. Well, crypto, the corner bodega, everybody's laying off people because everybody's scared of this recession that is or is not. But I still find it very healthy. Some people are saying, oh, I can't wait for Ethereum to get to be $500 and I'm going to go and buy everything. Other people are saying, oh no, it's going to get down to $50 and then you go in and buy everything. And then in 6 months, it'll be back up to $3,000 and you'll be a millionaire. Me, I just go with the flow. I try to check, hey, what's the price? Hey, anything interesting going on? Hey, that's what I think. That's my philosophy. It's all going to come back. Ethereum and Bitcoin are not going anywhere. Now, Dogecoin, which I have $1 of, Litecoin, which I have $3 of, those I don't know. And I bought Dogecoin because Mark Cuban said something about it, and Elon Musk said something about it a long time ago, so I think I bought $5, and it's worth $1 now. And Litecoin, I was thinking about getting into that like 5 or 6 years ago, because that seemed to be the preferred cryptologist of Microsoft. Microsoft, the rumor was getting behind Litecoin big. So I thought, well, I'll try it. And I think I got $10 worth. It's now worth, I think, $5. And I don't think we can say that Microsoft is really pushing Litecoin. I don't know where that rumor came from, but I believe it. If somebody tells me, if I read it on the internet, I believe it. Gordon says, hey, kind of wish I'd gotten Dogecoin when I first heard about it. Would be well rich. Well, that's a good point. When I first got into the Bitcoin, one Bitcoin was about $1,000. And I didn't have $1,000. I think I bought like $700 worth over a period of time because it was really going up almost every day. So I got a little bit. It was just like 7 years ago. And then I forgot about it. I said, we'll just put it in cold storage and let it sit there. And things changed, went up. Went way up. 40 times 700 is, as Gordon will tell you, $1 million. And Hikaru Nakamura, who is my favorite online chess streamer who is playing in the candidates, won a chess competition on lichess.org. And the prize, and he doesn't ever play on Lichess, but the prize was 1 Bitcoin. So chess.com, they're sort of laid back, really. They said, go ahead, go play. Even though you have a contract with us, go play that contest on Lichess and see if you can win. Because if you win there, it's good for us here. So Hikaru went and won. So he won 1 Bitcoin, which I believe at the time was worth $43,000. This is not that long ago, maybe a couple of months ago. And he had to open up an account on Coinbase. Hey, it's Gordon. You know the story of someone who bought pizza with Bitcoin when it was close to $1 per Bitcoin? Wow, that's one lucky pizza person. Ho, 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 baby. I think it was Evil Dick. EVELDICK. He's on Twitter a lot. Who was on Big Brother. Not the world's greatest guy, but very blunt, and lives in Florida. Probably he lives in Orlando. Could be good friends with Gordon. I don't know. I like Evil Dick. Looks like Keith Richards. And he has some kind of pass that he bought from Disney World. That's some kind of exotic dining pass or something like that. That allows him to go into this special place where he can have this exquisite meal. I don't know if it's every day, but as I understand it, almost every day, he walks from his cinder block house in Orlando over to Disney World, has a pass, goes in, and eats at Disney World every day. These exotic, delicious dinners. And it costs him a lot of money every year to do that. But he says, I could never afford to do that on my own. And he's a cook and a bartender, so he can make his own food. But he says it's much better to go to Disney. Anyway, Evil Dick's son was an early advocate of Bitcoin when everyone else around him, including Evil Dick, was making fun of him. And the son had something like $100,000 worth of Bitcoin. And then it went way up to like 40. And his son was a multi-millionaire in Bitcoin. And Dick said, what are you going to do? Save it or spend it? What are you going to do? And the son said, well, I'm going to sell half of it and keep the rest. And he did, and made all that money. And Dick couldn't believe it. It's like, who knew? My stupid kid was that smart. Smarter than me. So Hikaru Nakamura won one Bitcoin. And it was like, I think like $45,000. And all of his fans on the stream were saying, what are you going to do with it? And he said, well, I can't do anything now because I have to open an account with Coinbase because I guess that's where they were transferring the Bitcoin. And he said, it takes 7 days. You have to identify yourself. You have to go through this process. You cannot withdraw or for 7 days. So we went all through that with him. And finally, the Bitcoin was delivered. Everyone was saying, hang on to it. There were people saying Bitcoin's going to be $100,000 by the end of the year. And Hikaru, who some people say is worth $50 million, if you do a Google search on Hikaru Nakamura net worth, he says he's not worth 50. He says he's worth 5. But his brother, who is also a chess player, is a bigwig at Chase. Chase Investment, Chase Banking. So his brother is very rich and gives Hikaru a lot of advice and invests Hikaru's money for him. So I'm sure he makes a lot of money. And he's very smart about money. He used to be a poker player, he invests. And the big banks hate Bitcoin. So it appeared that his brother was saying, look, sell. And so Hikaru, the second it was in his Coinbase account, sold his one Bitcoin for $41,000, right? And at that time, it was, I think, 43 when he first got it, and he was selling at a loss. And all of his streamer kids who are 11 years old, oh, Hikaru, what have you done? You lost $2,000. You're such a fool to sell at 41. And he said, I don't want to be in crypto. I want the money. I will take that money and invest it as I want to because it's money. And he did. And now, hey, who's the super GM super genius? He sold at 41,000 and crypto is now, Bitcoin is now selling at 20. Now, I think he could have just held on to it for 10 years because he doesn't need the money, really. But boy, oh boy, if you're going to sell, he sold at the right time. He got great advice, followed his gut. I'm not into crypto. I have one Bitcoin. That's all I have. Let me cash it out and be on my way. See ya. And it worked out. So it's hard to know when to jump and when not to jump. And when Bitcoin was $1, I mean, imagine if you had purchased, 100 Bitcoin at $1 and just held on to it for 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Oh my, and then sold. Oh boy. Now it's going to take a while to get back to 40,000, but it will. 100,000 by the end of the year, as one big investor was saying, I don't think that's happening. Not in this economy. So NFT.NYC is going on. Not a lot of talk about it. I'm not getting a lot of emails anymore. I guess, people are just kind of set in their ways in there. But our friend Ashita from Canada is in town. And she is doing a lot of posting. From NFT.NYC. And here is Sabet with Ashita. Now, Ashita has been very clear from the very beginning that she loves and respects Sabet because he was a mentor to many of these excellent NFT artists who were getting in, and he helped them with their contracts, he helped them where to go, he gave them great advice, he collaborated with them, used his good name to help them get up. I respect that. And there are some other artists that I deal with who are not maybe as well known or as successful, who hate Sabet and said all he's done is block me. Take it as you wish. But there they are together. Too bad I couldn't be there. We'd have a threesome. I mean, three people in the picture. And and there's Gabe. Isn't this firing? I don't want that either. This one. A lot of screaming today. This is Gabe Wise. I have the one Ishita thing that I have on my main account is a collaboration between Ishita and Gabe. And she does this half and Gabe does the other half. It's very cool. He's very digital, so it's very sharp, bright lines, and she's more ethereal with kind of muted colors and blurry lines. And here they are, I guess, wearing each other's t-shirts. Cute! Gabe is very, very successful and wonderful. We've talked about him here on the stream before. I did not contact him for this private social media beta because he's an abstract artist like Ishita. Different, but abstract. And I don't want to make look my whole portfolio as abstraction. This, I don't know who this is. Eddie Gangland, maybe? Ward Hall? I don't know. I shouldn't say because I don't know these people. There's Ishita having a glass of water. Probably. Here she is with Gabe again. See, this is, I wonder if this is Gabe, because I know that Gabe sometimes he has photographs of him on his driveway painting with these oil paints, big chunky oil paints. But maybe she does too. Is that a male or a female hand? I would say female. That looks like Ishita. So she is drawing. And that's what they do. They say, hey, come by the convention, if you have a ticket. Get in and I'll draw you something. Okay. I would go. Here we go. Daniel Sanchez, a good friend of Ian Jones. There they are together, painting on the floor. I guess this is the Marriott Hotel Convention Center. Fun. Wish I were there. Couldn't get a ticket. Yeah. And what is this? Builders. Okay, we don't care about that. We don't know who that is. But as you can see, she's very active. Oh, no, this is very cool. Looks like we made it, she says. Diversity of Art NFT exhibition. So she's on the Times Square building. This is very big for a lot of the artists. They all have this scroll of their artwork going across the screen of Times Square. And they know exactly what time it is and when it will be there, and they all go outside and take their picture, which is terrific. What fun. Here you can get free like Ishita stuff, like a notebook cover. There she's wearing her own t-shirt, which I fully support. A free donut. Who doesn't want a free donut? Whoops. It looks like a bar of soap, but it's not. And this is the best one. This is Ishita's stuff playing at night in Times Square on the scroller board. And she has what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces up there? It's just wonderful. So that's fun. And this is, I guess, her swag. A little zippered bag, a little notebook thing. Cute, fun. This is a fan that she met. Gave me a little prize. She says, hey, come find me at the Marriott. I'll give you something free. She has buttons of her artwork. Fun stuff. Wish I were there. Tried to get in, wasn't invited. What are you going to do, Magoo? Not much you can do. Except sit here and cry. And try to get your screen not to freeze. Well, I better take a break because it is that time. And I don't know what Twitch is going to do with these auto breaks, and I don't want to auto break someone or something. We will return momentarily. And hey, we're back from break. I'm David Bowles. This is Bowles.tv. Trying to get resituated here because I have something in my lap that I'm going to show you. Nothing like that. But I'm not going to show you yet. So we were talking about NFT.NYC and Ishita and the Sabet, who I absolutely agree is a terrific artist and business person. So, hey, this is my Twitter page. As you can see, my profile pic has changed from the Ian Jones laughing, whatever it was, devil thing, to this new Crypto Mori. And the Crypto Moris I find really fascinating because they can be very expensive or very cheap. If it's the right look, I think it's interesting. Now, the thing about Crypto Moris is that Sabet actually started a fight with them right when they were getting ready to release. And they have a very loyal following. And Sabet was saying that this shape of the mouth, right? And like an X for an eye and a heart for the other eye, which some of these Crypto Moris have, is an infringement on his copyright. And he filed a DMCA takedown notice with OpenSea, which stopped their sale. And the fans were furious. The Crypto Moris were furious. This is what started me turning the tide against Sabet. I understand he had to do it sort of legally, but just because you're supposed to do it legally and your lawyers tell you to protect your trademark in your profession, you need to go sue the Crypto Moris, is ridiculous because, as we've seen, I have an ugly kitty that is a young Yoda. I have a R2-D2 Pixopop. So Sabet has copied and used other cultural influences, and he seems fine with that. So why can't the Crypto Moris have a skull face with these things, and then an X for an eye and a heart for an eye? And it blew up in his face, and he had to take it down. First, he denied he was involved with it, but then people found the takedown notice and shared it. The Crypto Moris did because it was sent to them. And it said, why is Sabet doing this to us? And that was the slow decline of Sabet in my eyes. Yes, he had the right to do it. Yes, lawyers say you should do it. But Sabet should say, I have a reputation as a nice guy, and people love me. And if they want to use some of my artwork as inspiration for Crypto Moris, fine. But he didn't do that. He wanted, I think, some percentage of the Crypto Moris. He wanted to be paid damages by the Crypto Moris. And then in the end, I think he somehow gave in, dropped it for a couple of days. He had a Crypto Mori as his profile pic. It was a big, unnecessary, rotten, stinking mess. And even the people on the Sabet server were saying to him, Sabet, what are you doing? What have you done? These are the Crypto Moris. They have a very, very vocal support system. And a lot of Crypto Moris collect Sabet. And there are a lot of Crypto Mori people who said we're never collecting Sabet again because of what he did to Crypto Moris. So there you go. So when you see a Crypto Mori that's, sort of affordable and relatively cute, hey, think about grabbing one, especially when Ethereum is so low. Hey, we were talking about Evil Dick, and this is how he spells his name, Eveldick. And yes, it says it's because of Evel Knievel. That's his touchstone. So he celebrates Evel Knievel in his name. And that is Evil Dick's face, but that is not his body. Evil Dick usually is very, very vocal. He's done a lot of retweeting, though, as I see here. And he does have a big potty mouth. So if you don't want to see cursing or hear cursing or know anything about cursing, stay away from Evil Dick. But he is funny. What is he saying? His bio used to be very offensive. Oh, he doesn't say anything. Prison bound. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. I really don't follow him anymore because a lot of it's just cursing. Hated Trump, the whole thing. Maybe he's in prison. I don't know. I have no idea. 11 hours ago. Who was the NFL player that negotiated his contract with paid in Bitcoin? Yeah, the mayor of New York is now being paid in Bitcoin, right? Funny, right? Being paid a third of what he should be paid. That I don't think I would do. A one-time payment, okay, but a recurring payment like in a salary, where crypto is sort of volatile, I don't think I would do that. And we were talking about Hikaru Nakamura, the Grand Master. He's playing in the candidates trial. I believe today he's playing Jan Nabamachi, who is right here. Meow, make it stick. There he is. Hey, there's Gordon. Remember that thing you said about all those Russian artists? With the one brush showing, etc. Here's lovely Gustav Klimt. I'm nervous. If this is going to be boobies and bums, I might be upset, I might be excited. Oh, here we go. That's interesting. Now, I should show you some of the works from those other artists, but I don't want to embarrass them too much. Now, this I find rather beautiful. The other stuff I found sort of juvenile and cartoonish, and just for shock value, to try to sell something, because it's boobies. That I would buy. That's very beautiful. And these other terrific things. And there was one person who said, in this conversation about women and rights and how we need to go back to the way it used to be, where women were quiet and knew their place. Someone brought up a painting, I think, from 1400, with a very formal woman wearing her favorite dress with one breast completely exposed, because that was her beautiful breast and she wanted it shown publicly wherever she went. And these women were saying, well, let's go back to the 1400s and all dress like that, since that was what people think they want. So this is Hikaru playing the candidates trial in Madrid. And I think there are 6-8 people competing. The person who wins then takes on Magnus Carlsen in the World Chess Championship, I think in February. And this is what I have in my lap that I've been holding because I think it's just delightful and well-deserved. Meow. The latest episode. Ha the latest edition of Chess Life magazine. With your friend and mine, Ringo Starr. Now it's Hikaru Nakamura. GM Hikaru Nakamura, Grand Master, wins the 22 Grand FIDE Prix. Terrific, right? And he wears his ring on that finger, which everyone finds very bizarre, and he doesn't care. It means something to him, something. He's explained it several times, but his fans, people like me, we don't really get it. It looks very uncomfortable as he's playing. But again, as Hikaru loves to say, I literally don't care. And Hikaru got into big trouble. Hey, there's Gordon. Do you think that magazine would be interesting to an 11-year-old chess fan? 100 million%. And do you know why I have this? It's because I am a member of the United States Chess Federation. I believe an individual membership for a year is like $47. You can get a family membership that includes everybody for around $80 a year. You get this magazine delivered to you electronically and in the mail once a month. And then you can also join the FIDE Arena, where you can play online and get a FIDE rating. Let me see if I can find mine. And I don't know anything. I'm terrible. I don't really even play people. I just play computers. Let me see if I still have that somewhere. I hope I didn't. Went by mistake in my transfer. That's fidelity. Reading to see if I can find what I'm looking for. It's searching. I know I was there at one time. Searching. Nothing to happen. Now this is upsetting to me because I used to be there. I mean, I know I'm still there somewhere. Well, it's still searching. So to answer your question about this is, yes, it's very visual. This is the Hikaru Nakamura thing. And you can learn great things by playing him. And once you're a member of the U.S. Chess Federation, then you can go onto chess.com, and it doesn't cost you anything. You can join the U.S. Chess, a private group, and play with them, whatever level you are. You can play correspondence chess on the U.S. Chess Federation website. And then if you get a FIDE Arena account, you can play online. And I think it's like 60 euros a year, something like that. And you can get a FIDE rating. So as I tell people, if you have to play someplace, if you're going to play at chess.com or elitechess.org, why don't you just go play at chessarena.com, which used to be FIDE Arena. Just go to chessarena.com and play there, and then you'll get a FIDE online ranking, which is really terrific. I'm still searching for my profile, and I'm not finding it. Oh, there it is. There we go. I found it. I don't know why it took so long to do a search, but this is live. Okay, so this is my International Chess Federation ranking page. It's ratings.fide.com. Go to fide.com and you can join. Here I am, Mr. Big Nobody, but I have a FIDE ID, which is big when you're trying to join the U.S. Chess Federation group on chess.com. Birth year, not rated, nothing, individual, nothing. FOA rating, FIDE online rating, hey, these are the defaults, but hey, 900, I'll take it. And here's my Chess Arena profile, which you can click on. Hey, here's the boy. These online FIDE rated since July of 2021. Meow. So you can play these games, chess games, against people all over the world on the FIDE website and get rated. You don't have to register. You don't have to go over the board. You don't have to go in person. You don't have to leave your apartment. You can just play on FIDE Arena, chessarena.com. Play there. You're getting a FIDE online arena rating, which I think is just absolutely and completely delightful. And what else is in Chess Life magazine? Because it's just great. You read it. There's something, as they say, for everybody. And it's printed on nice paper, which you never really see anymore, which is glossy and beautiful. I mean, I would say it's the People magazine of chess. That's all official. Fun stuff, right? You can download it from US Chess website. Maybe I will. Now I'm all interested in that. So, hey, Gordon says, ironically, I currently receive People magazine because Entertainment Weekly stopped printing their magazine and the publisher decided this was the next best thing for subscribers. Sorry, kid. We're all out of hot dogs. Have a carrot. Ha! That's very good. So this is the U.S. Chess Federation, uschess.org, and you can become a member and you can donate. And you can download, I believe, in PDF form, the Chess Life magazine. Click here for digital access. Well, what do you know? Chess Life magazine issues. Here you go. PDF download, PGN downloads. Those are really wonderful because those are chess games. And you can go back in time and take a look at all this. About 2 years ago, Entertainment Weekly went to a monthly format. No, they did not change the name of the magazine. That's funny. That's too hard. Okay, so this is the digital viewer for the... Oh, meow. This is the digital viewer for the Chess Life magazine. You can download it like this, look at it online, which is very rich and interactive, or you can download it as a PDF. But this is what it looks like. The Green Bay Open, it's all levels. If you're just starting out, it's okay. And it teaches you games, lessons, young people. Chess.com has a whole kids area, which is really quite terrific. There's our boy, Nikaru. We're hoping he does well. He doesn't do great over the board because you can tell he's bored. You know, these games take 4 hours. He's used to playing 100 games, 3-minute games, in 4 hours. So I understand it's a whole different mentality of trying to figure out what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? How do I survive? But he's the 5-time U.S. chess champ. Now, that was a little while ago, but he's back. He disappeared for 2 years like everybody else did because of this ridiculous pandemic we have. And he's out there now in the candidates trial. Gordon says chess.com has an interesting section with puzzles, and they're like, okay, what's the best move? You try one thing. No, that wasn't the best move. Yeah, it's great. They've really improved that. Where if you play a game or you practice... I used to just play the game and leave all that stuff on. and try to figure out why they were telling me that was a better move. I would, in my mind, make my move, and it would very quickly tell me that's not the move to make. You need to make this move. And it was always very confusing and slightly frustrating. But I made it through. And you can play on chess.com for free, or you can get a full diamond subscription. But leadchess.org is also really terrific. They have great, great training tools. And it's 100% free. You can donate if you want to, but they don't expect it. You get wings if you donate. So I donate a little bit every month just to keep it going, show support. And that's how you do it. And now we got to take a very brief break. And we shall return in a moment. And we're back from break. I'm David Bowles. This is Bowles.tv. Well, Gordon has me all wound up on this chess stuff, which I really love. And I think we're now 8 months into this live stream. And for the first few months, I would just, for like 15, 20 minutes, play a terrible game of practicing chess. And then lately I haven't been doing it because some people get bored by it. But I will share this for young people looking to learn chess. Chessable.com. My username is ChessaBowles. And they have this wonderful trainer. You can purchase trainers, courses. They give them away for free. And this is one of my favorite trainers. 1001 Deadly Checkmates, right? So it gives you all different ways of checkmating. And Chapter 11 is mate by line opening. This, I admit, is giving me a little bit of trouble because the lesson before this was all about queen sacrifices. So you always know in your mind, okay, the first thing I've got to do, even though I don't want to, is sacrifice my queen in order to get a better position. Now, sometimes they're very tricky, and they give you like 3 different ways you could sacrifice your queen, so you have to think about it a little bit. But unlike the chess puzzle of the day on chess.com, which we used to do every day at around 10:30, Chessable puts you on a clock. So it makes it very difficult under the pressure of a live stream when you're a big dumbo to try to figure out what your move is with the clock ticking behind you or in front of you. Now, see, first thing I have to do is make the board a little bit bigger because you just can't see it. Okay, so here we go. Engine loading. Am I on my clock? No, the clock's not working. I think I missed something up here. Oh, now I'm in trouble. Okay, I need to make the board bigger. And see, I have to do this while the thermometer's running. Make it. Oh, I hit the wrong one again. My thermometer's still running, right? Make this one more bigger. Okay. So black to play. I have to sacrifice a piece to open up a line so I can then checkmate the king. And I have very few seconds, and I have to make a move. So my first move is not to put the king in check, because these puzzles love to put the king in check first. And I usually talk about this and draw lines, but because I've talked so long, I can't. So I'm going to have to go here and just sacrifice my queen and see if that was right. That was not the right move, see? So they make me take it back. They show me the right move. And they humiliatingly then make me make that move. So it's here to here. Boom. That's the move they want me to make. My rook gets taken, right? And then, see, I usually do that. I make the move that's supposed to be the move first when it's supposed to be the second move. And my thermometer's ticking, but then I go from here, so I know this is my queen. And then I go here, protected by the rook, right? King's in check by the queen. And the king can't move here, can't take, and is now blocked because of that beautiful move by its own bishop. So now I know that's the move to make. And so I make the move, meow, and I win the game. And then here's my breakdown. I learned 2 new moves. My accuracy, hey, 50%. Terrible. I gained 60 stars. Exit. And now it gives me my next puzzle to solve, which is 2, which I'm not doing right now. So there are a lot of fun things. I like Chessable quite a bit if you want to learn interactively with time pressure. It's terrific. Hey, have you heard about the Texas Republicans? And I don't even really want to talk about this, but it's such a rising danger. That's a big concern if you care about America, because they don't want to be part of America. They want to be their own country state. And who would want to live there? I don't think young people would want to live there and women would not want to live there. So it's going to be a bunch of old white men shooting each other. This is what the new GOP platform is for Texas. Require students to learn about humanity of the preborn child. Amend the Texas Constitution to remove the legislature's power to regulate the wearing of arms. Everybody wants a gun. They want homosexuality treated as an abnormal lifestyle choice. Gender identity is a mental condition and extremely rare. They want the U.S. Constitution changed to cement the number of Supreme Court justices at 9, period. They want to ensure the freedom of travel by opposing the Clean Energy Plan and anti-driver policies like California. And this is like the serious proposal. They want to declare all businesses and jobs as essential and a fundamental right, pushing back against COVID vaccines. They don't want a Federal Reserve, the nation's central bank, and guaranteeing the right to use alternatives to cash, including cryptocurrencies, which I do support. Hey, Gordon says, you missed a huge one, repealing the federal income tax. Well, I think that's what this one is, abolishing the Federal Reserve. They don't want an income tax because they don't have any tax in Texas, state tax, and they don't in Florida either. Which, I don't know, I guess they get there by fees. It's the tail end of the fourth one from the bottom. The tail end of the fourth one from the bottom. I believe you. Because this is what I really want to talk about. Dana Milbank's analysis of what's going on in Texas. The Texas GOP platform gives us a good idea of what such a paradise for Christian nationalists would look like. Texas would officially declare that homosexuality is an abnormal lifestyle choice. It would redefine marriage as a covenant only between one biological man and one biological woman. And it would nullify any court rulings to the contrary. The gay log cabin Republicans, which we've talked about here before, where are they? Were banned from setting up a booth at the convention. It would fill schools with prayer, the Bible, and the Ten Commandments, but ban the teaching of sex education. It would abolish all abortions and require students to learn about the humanity of the preborn child. And they rightly call this the Texas theocracy. Get with God, or you'll be punished. And the right God, by the way. The Texas theocracy, which maintains that President Biden was not legitimately elected, would keep only traces of democracy. It wants the Voting Rights Act of 1965 repealed, and it would rewrite the state constitution to empower minority rule by small, rural, and white counties. It would rescind voters' rights to accept and elect senators as the Constitution's guarantee of birthright citizenship. Gordon says they call it the Texas theocracy because Republic of Gilead was already taken. Very good. And here's the point that Mr. Gordon was making. Commissioner Gordon, the Texas theocracy would probably be broke. It wants to abolish the federal income tax, axe the property tax, and do away with the estate tax and various business taxes. Yet it's planning a hawkish foreign policy. The platform argues that Texas is currently under active invasion and should take any and all appropriate measures of the sovereign state defines as necessary to defend itself. So says, for viewers who don't know, that's a reference to the increasingly looking like a nonfiction book, The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. Thank you for that, Gordon. It imagined attacks by a one-world government or the Great Reset, an internet-born conspiracy belief, and proposes withdrawal from the current United Nations. The theory would put the wild back in the West, abolishing the minimum wage, environmental and banking regulations, and red flag laws or waiting periods to prevent dangerous people from buying guns. Above all, the Confederate theocracy of Texas would be defined by thought police. It would penalize woke corporations and businesses that disagree with the theocracy over abortion, race, trans rights, and the inalienable right to refuse vaccines. And it goes on and on. That's just exhausting. And there are some people who think, oh, Texas is purple. Sure, it's red, but soon it's going to go all blue. Oh, really? I don't think there's any chance of that happening. But what happens in Texas tends to happen other places. And a lot of people really dislike the state of Texas, especially people who were born there. Because the first thing they will tell you early and often is, I'm from Texas. Yeah, well, I'm from Texas. Yeah? Well, it's the biggest state. And everybody who is in football knows that Texas ruined the Big 12 because they were bossy and mean, and the Nebraska people, who are football fans, despise Texas. They have a rivalry with Oklahoma. They respect Oklahoma. They despise Texas. And now Texas is leaving the Big 12 because they forced everybody to be on the Longhorn Network. Now they're leaving the Big 12, destroying the Big 12, finally, and they're joining the SEC, where everyone knows they will be pounded into submission by Alabama, Arkansas, all the power teams of the SEC, of which Texas is not, and of which, and therefore shall, Texas is going to get a punch in the face to their ego because they think they're Texas. We're Texas. Okay, so we're Texas. That's all we need to say. That's our entire defense to anything you might accuse us of. We're Texas. I'm a Texan. I was born in Texas. And usually that phrase follows bad behavior. Well, I'm from Texas. I'm obnoxious. I'm loud. I'm boisterous. Hey, I'm from Texas. The Lone Star State. Okay. And now they say they want to succeed. They don't want to be in the United States. And there are a lot of opinion articles saying, well, see you later. Good luck with that. We don't want you either. We're going to build a wall around Texas, and then once you're abandoned, Mexico is going to invade you and take you back, and you're not going to be able to do anything about it. You're going to talk a good game, but we'll see what really happens. Hey! Before we get onto that, just this. We now have the gun seller's message to Americans. Hey, Uvalde, Texas, you know what the problem is? Not enough guns. You got to man up. And this is a fascinating story from the New York Times. And the greatest part of it are these advertisements that most people in the mainstream don't even know are happening. Consider your man card reissued. Bushmaster. Automatic rifle. Maybe used to shoot kids in the face. Man up. Anxiety sells. Marketing firearms for personal protection is nothing new for the better part of the last century. Gun makers emphasize self-defense. One of the industry's most influential campaigns was a 1996 ad in Ladies' Home Journal that showed a Beretta handgun on a kitchen table with the words, homeowners insurance. And if you want to scare people, hey, scare the women. Why not, hey? Here's special underwear that has a holster in the back so you can carry concealed and draw your gun anytime you feel threatened. Or if you don't like having your gun on your butt, you can have your gun on your boobs. It looks like a bra. It looks like a slimming camisole, but no, it's not. It's a gun holster. Trick people into think you're going to be messing with your boobies and pull out a gun and shoot them in the face. This is the guy running Greitens, guns, ugh. So there you go. Scare them. Hey, they're coming for your guns. Oh, really? I don't think so. Oh, yeah. Be scared. Well, last week or so, we talked about how people take an idea and run with it, even though it's the wrong idea and the misunderstanding. You see that a lot in advertising. And we specifically talked about the Peer Gynt Onion, where the Henrik Ibsen play, Peer Gynt, is a guy who's going insane, and he sits on stage, and it's the beautiful, dramatic moment of the piece where he's peeling an onion. And there are rotten bits, and he's trying to get to the center of the onion to find out how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. One. But the whole idea of Peer Gynt is there is no there. You think you peel away all the parts of the onion, and when you get there, it's empty. It's all fallen apart. It's no longer an onion. It's just pieces of stuff that you've thrown away. And here is Dan Rather, who we really sort of like, had a problem with Bush v. Gore and got conned. But since then, he has his own show and is trying to resurrect his reputation, even though he's deep into his 80s. And Dan Rather recently tweeted, "The Jeannie Thomas story is not going away." And here's where he loses those of us who know. It's like peeling back the layers of a rotten onion. Well, Dan, not really. In fact, it's just what you're saying is just the opposite of what you mean. That you're going to peel an onion and find a rotten core. That's not the idea of it, Dan. You're going to peel an onion, you're going to peel an onion, and you're going to get there, and there's nothing there. There's nothing left. Jenny Thomas has been completely vindicated in your analogy. Sure, she's surrounded by rotten people, rotten pieces, rotten. But when you get to the center of it, there's nothing there. There's no there. Dan, we expect more of you. And then yesterday I was watching television, and there's an ad that comes on. Discover card. Okay, it's a serious card, credit card. And their musical motto now is, Baby Got Back. And for those of us who know, Baby Got Back translates into Baby Got Butt. Discover card. Smart move. Now, Discover wants us to believe that song, Baby Got Back, is about their cash back at the end of the year, meow meow, card, which is a great idea. Discover is a great card. We have a Discover card. But when they take the song that survives in its own context and they change it to mean something else, to fit into their narrow view of the world and what it means, Baby Got Cash Back. Now, if you change the song and re-recorded the song and say, Baby Got Cash Back, okay, that's kind of funny. But when you just take the song that's obviously remade because they don't want to pay the original singer, Baby Got Back, those of us who know, we find it disingenuous and disconcerting. And now we're going to take a little bit of a blood pressure break. And then we're going to talk about how running injures men. And other things that are in the sporting news. Returning to you in a moment. And we are back from break. I'm David Bowles. This is Bowles.tv, coming to you live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Well, while we're on the break, Gordon sent me lyrics, but they're not the right lyric. This I know. I don't much. This is what Gordon sent me. Posse on Broadway, Sir Mix-a-Lot. Okay? This is not Baby Got Back. This is Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot. Hey, I understand the confusion. At least this is what I was talking about with the cover card. I like big butts and I cannot lie. You and your brothers can't deny that when a girl walks in with an itty-bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung. There's a huge wall of text that came first. And then we go all the way to the bottom here, and here is what we're talking about. Baby got back. Baby got back. And I'm not reading the whole thing because I don't want to get in trouble. However, I do agree this is a fun song. I just don't think it has anything to do with Discover Cashback. Call me ridiculous. Now, speaking of perhaps interesting, this is Leah Thomas. And we've talked about her before. She was Gordon said I made irrelevant to that song lyric comment. Oh. We have to go back a bit. Gordon said, and I missed it because I was on break and not paying attention. Whoops. I'm not clicking well today. So here's a funny fact. That song is by Sir Mix-a-Lot. Okay, he also has a song called Posse's on Broadway. Okay, here we go. When I lived in Seattle, I worked for a while at Starbucks, the one located at the intersection of 23rd and Jackson. Looking at the lyrics of Posse's on Broadway, he says, picked up the posse on 23rd and Jackson. Yep, same one. Once Elizabeth called me to tell me that it was in the news that day for a shooting in the parking lot. Scary. How I didn't notice a parking lot shooting while working, that is scary. And that's why Gordon sent us this. There it is. Picked up the posse on 23rd and Jackson, heading for the Strip. Yes, we're looking for some action. Yeah, what kind of action? I hope it's not shooting again. But I guess it was. So this is Leah Thomas. And we've talked about her. Fascinating story. She was on the men's swim team. Not a great swimmer. Had the decision to become a woman. I don't believe she's had any surgery yet, but she changed and went on the necessary hormones to become a woman. Okay, so then she started competing as a woman for Penn and started winning every race. And there are people furious in the sporting community who say it's unfair to have Leah competing as a woman on a women's team when she was a year ago competing on the men's team. And it's a big thing. And Penn said, we stand by Leah and her choice. And if she wants to compete as a woman, that's fine with us. And then you had all these people in the gay community coming out against Leah. Caitlyn Jenner, Martina Navratilova, Billie Jean King, all these superstars in the community saying it is unfair to have her competing as a woman on the swim team. Because she is, as they say, still biologically a man because she went through puberty as a man. And because of that fact, that gives her a tremendous advantage in competition that no genetically born woman can compete with. Even though Leah Thomas is on hormones. You cannot change the way your bones and muscle structure are affected after going through puberty. Hey, Gordon says, I don't think it's correct to say she decided to be a woman, so to speak. I believe it'd be more correct to say, well, she is a woman, trans women being women, and I could be wrong. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to perhaps inartfully say, that Leah realized that she was a woman and therefore made the decision to transition from a male body to a female body. And I'm probably still getting all that wrong, and Gordon will correct me, or anyone else who's listening to this can correct me now or later. I accept all criticism, because this is a confusing topic for me and for some other people. So when I say she decided, is that she decided to say, I am no longer a man, I am a woman. Because she believes that she's always been a woman, is how I understand how these transitions take place, but that's why they call them a transition. Because there are things that have to happen in order to get into the right body, as I understand it. So the interesting part of this update is World Swimming bans transgender athletes from women's events. Now, you would think that's very backward. You would think that's really unfair, that if a person who used to be in a man's body who's now a woman's body wants to compete as a woman, what's the problem with that? And as we previously discussed, as I understand it, the problem is the idea of puberty. Now, if these kids transition before they hit puberty, I guess that would be okay. I don't know. And I guess that there are some young kids who know who they are early. And because there's maybe indecision on the parts of the family or doctors or even the child itself, there are drugs that can be taken to delay puberty. So for years, until a decision is made to go one way or the other with how the body chooses to be presented. And so this is now the defining moment, which is surprising to me. But I guess it's not, because this is what the people who know more than I do, Billie Jean King, Martina Navratilova, Caitlyn Jenner, they're the ones who know and say it's not fair for transgender men to women to compete as women. It's not fair. World Swimming's governing body has effectively banned transgender women from competing in women's events starting on Monday. FINA members widely adopted a new gender inclusion policy on Sunday that only permits swimmers who transition before the age of 12 to compete in women's events. Now, that's a problem, because there are fascist Christians who say you don't talk about sex with children, and certainly not before the age of 12. No child should be transitioning to anything before the age of 12. Well, that's kind of when you have to decide, before the body starts changing on its own. And they would say, well, if the body changes, then that says who the gender is. And sometimes the mind is not in control of the body. The organization also proposed an open competition category. This is not saying that people are encouraged to transition by the age of 12. It's what scientists are saying, that if you transition after the start of puberty, you have an advantage, which is unfair. They're not saying everyone should transition by the age of 11. That's ridiculous. You can't transition by that age in most countries, and hopefully you wouldn't be encouraged to. Basically, what they're saying is that it is not feasible for people who have transitioned to compete without having an advantage. Well, that's interesting. They're saying, well, okay, You can compete as a woman if you transition at 11. But they're saying, well, we're not encouraging transition, and really it's too young to transition. So I guess they're trying to have it both ways. Here's confirmed there are currently no transgender women competing in elite levels of swimming. The World Professional Association for Transgender Health just lowered its recommended minimum age for starting gender transition hormone treatment to 14 and some surgeries to 15 or 17. It's fascinating. Sticky stuff. Really interesting. What makes a person? And sometimes it's just not what the mind wants. It's biologically and physically. How do you deal with this on the athlete of an expert athlete? His new 24-page policy also includes proposals for a new open competition category. The organization said it was setting up a new working group that will spend the next 6 months looking at the most effective ways to set up this category. Strange thing, really. A whole new category of competition. In March, which is when we talked about this, Lia Thomas made history in the United States as the first transgender woman to win an NCAA swimming championship. Thomas said last month on ABC's Good Morning America that she was aiming to become an Olympic swimmer. She also disputed those who say she has an unfair biological edge that ruins the integrity of women's athletics, saying trans women are not a threat to women's sports. The University of Pennsylvania, who has backed her 100%, did not immediately respond to a request for comment from Thomas. The International Cycling Union increased the transition period on low testosterone to 2 years and lowered the maximum accepted level of testosterone. The previous transition period was 12 months, but the UCI said recent scientific studies show that the awaited adaptations in muscle and mass, muscle strength and power among athletes who made the transition from male to female takes 2 years. And even then, they say, these pro-expert athletes say that's still not enough because you cannot beat the puberty. There's muscle fiber, there are muscles that are built in puberty that no woman athlete has access to if you go through puberty with a male biology. Fascinating stuff. Is this over? Probably not. We're going to hear a lot more about this. Hey, are there any runners in the audience? Well, we know yesterday Commissioner Gordon is running two quarter-mile marathons in February at Disney World. I was upbraided for saying running a marathon. It's only a half marathon. So 2 quarters twice is a half marathon. That's the math. Either that or a million. I don't make the rules, I just follow the choices. Now, this was a fascinating article that I knew I wanted to talk about before I knew our friend Gordon was running in a marathon, half marathon. Before I knew. Because the title was so fascinating. And this is the title, Why Running Helps Keep Women Young but Ages Men. And this is a PDF file. Because I went to the website, it said, you have this one article you can read right now. And then you're out. And I thought, well, when I plan these things for the show, I try to go back to them, and sometimes I block out of these interesting articles. So I said, well, I better save this. And I was going to save it as a printed file. I thought, no, I really can't show that on the screen. So I made it a PDF file that I have saved and that I'm now sharing parts of it with you. Runners face, I don't know what that means, to dodgy knees, I know what that means. Why running helps keep women young, but ages men. Fascinating. A new study shows running can age men's vascular health by a decade. Is running really a friend or a foe as we get older? Now, this is why this is hard to read, because it's all PDF. Let's see, is this, yeah. Let's see, let's get to the interesting part. The last thing on my mind was aging, but my pavement-pounding habit exacerbated a niggle in my lower back, which ended in surgery to remove a disc. 6 years on, I feel mostly healed, if still in regular pain. Now 42, various bits of me creak and ache, and I wonder how the benefits of cardiovascular fitness and general well-being from the fresh air, sunlight, early mornings, better diet balance out against the stress running might put on my joints. Heart risk. At least I'm not a man. Surprising new research has found, oh, maybe I can make this bigger here. Hey, bigger. Bigger is better, said no man alive. Hey. Now we can read it. Hey, at least I'm not a man. Surprising new research has found that long-distance running can add a whole decade to the vascular age of male athletes. Their major arteries were found to be far stiffer than expected, leaving them at greater risk of heart attack and stroke. The study looked at runners aged over 40, but the results for women, among the more than 300 participants, told a different story. Now, Gordon, you might want to walk that half marathon. There's no shame in it. I talked to Jan yesterday. I said we could just go and sit on the shuttle the whole time and chat with all of the wonderful actors. She loved the idea, but we won't get in. Endurance events such as marathons and triathlons were found to boost women's health, reducing their vascular age by an average of 6 years. Now, it's just the opposite of what we have been told about physical fitness. Walk, run, jog, help your blood pressure, get your heart working in your arteries. Now they're saying don't do it if you're a man. 72-year-old marathon runner Sharon Smith has been running competitively for 12 years without any sign of an injury, save one sustained dancing with her dog. I didn't have any aches after my last marathon, not one. Probably because it was a long walk back to the hotel. But I do worry my heart might give out. Well, that sounds terrifying. The new research into the vascular health of endurance athletes funded by the British Heart Foundation and cardiac risk in the young is not yet peer-reviewed, and the discrepancy between men and women has not been explained. For athletes who train in endurance exercise, their heart must work harder to pump blood around the body. Research has shown that in some cases this can cause changes to the heart. It's important to note that exercise is proven to reduce the risk of heart and circulatory diseases, helping control weight and lower. That's what I've always thought. Despite this reassurance, it is women who are typically framed as having something to lose from running or other high-impact exercise. We are told to fear a saggy jawline, wrinkles, or even liver spots from daring to spend hours outside running, sweating off our sunscreen. It is the tender, elastic skin around our neck, chest, and breasts most at risk of passing a point of no return. In perkiness terms. Never heard of it, said British athletics coach Joe Wilkinson. It sounds like made-up rubbish. On closer inspection, it feels like runner's face, which refers to the fat-free features of long-term runners. It's more a myth designed to make women feel bad about themselves, whether they exercise or not. Breast foot forward. I'm not even reading that one. It's too ridiculous. So this concentrates on women. But you need to be careful if you're a man, because it looks like there's new research out there that says you're going to be in trouble. I don't know if any of it's true, but I thought it was worthwhile to share and have a conversation in case someone is out there hurting themselves, thinking they're doing all the right things. And this is the world in which we live, where you do one thing and you think it's good. For many years, coffee's bad for you. Stay away from the caffeine. And now the latest thinking is if you have heart disease or if you have blood pressure problems, 1 to 2 cups of coffee a day, not adding sugar or any other stuff, just the coffee part, pushes out the bad stuff, enzymes, toxins, I don't know what it is, out of your heart. For men, it's not true for women. Women should stay away from caffeine and coffee. Men, 1 to 2 cups a day helps your heart. That's the new thinking. And for many years, I was off caffeine. I stayed away from it. Gordon says, look up Jeff Galloway. He is a very smart runner, and I do my best to adhere to his run, walk, run lessons. We will look him up. I love run, walk, run. I like that a lot. And then for a while it was wine. Oh, 1 glass of red wine a day, you're going to live to be 100. Look at the Italians. And then they did some research and they found out that that wine study was sponsored by the wine industry. And they had to go down several levels to find out where this was coming from and who was putting it up there. And now they say, if you have heart problems, do not drink any alcohol whatsoever because it is a toxin and a poison. And just 1 drink is really bad for your heart. It does not like it. And if you happen to track your HRV with an Oura ring, and if you happen to drink any sort of alcohol, especially at night, you will find out that when ye shall awaken, you will lose 20 points on your HRV. Absolutely like clockwork. And people who have an Oura ring in the Oura online conversation area have discovered that the hard way, that alcohol is very, very vicious to your body and especially to your heart. There are no benefits whatsoever, ever, anywhere for alcohol in the heart. And doctors know that people are going to drink, so they try to really say, look, 1 or 2 drinks a week, maybe, please don't drink a 6-pack. You're going to be in really, really bad trouble. People don't listen. People don't care. I read another study a couple of days ago saying that over, 60% of men have not been to a doctor, any sort of doctor, dentist, any sort of medical person in the last 6 months. Or as women, it's under 10%. They go often. The men don't go. And they can't figure out why. And I say, hey, talk to anybody born in the Midwest. It's better to die young than to be weak and go to the doctor. That's the mindset. That's the training. Man up, like we saw about the guns. Get a gun, man up. Drink as much as you can. Walk everywhere, don't run. Running is a sign of fear. And die by the time you're 50. That's a life well lived. And eat steak and potatoes. And as much beer as you can cover and potato chips. And it's a ridiculous mindset, but so many doctors don't realize that for many men, that is the mindset. That going to a doctor for any reason whatsoever is seen by them as a sign of weakness. That you're not a man because you have to go get help. And I remember when I first started on this blood pressure medication, I probably should have started 2 or 3, 4, 5 years before I did because I was too stubborn. I can fix it with behavior. And I did, but it was a lot of work. It would have been much easier to just take a pill. And the thing that concerned me the most, which is ridiculous, is how long do I have to take this blood pressure pill? And I said, well, probably for the rest of your life. Now that was the wrong answer for me. Because usually when you have to take medication and you're sick, you take it 2, 3, 4 days, maybe a week, and then you're done with it. And the doctors would say, well, blood pressure is different. Once you start on a blood pressure medication, your heart becomes dependent on it. I don't want to be dependent. I don't want to be addicted. It's not an addiction. It's your heart is relaxing and learning how to behave at a slower rate, at a slower pump. So it's not under so much pressure. It's a good thing. You want to remain on your medication. It's 1 teeny tiny pill or 3 pills. 1 or 3 pills a day, and we're lowering your cholesterol a little bit, and we're making sure your heart rate is correct, it's okay to be on medication for the rest of your life. And when you're young, you think, oh my gosh, if I lose my health insurance, if something happens, I'm not going to be able to buy my medication anymore. My heart's going to go crazy because there's no moderation, and it just gets all in your head. And sometimes the word is you just have to surrender. I submit. I give up. I've done everything I can. I now submit to the daily pill, or 3. And the thing is, I say, look, you don't take 1 pill now or 3, you're going to be taking 11 pills in 10 years. So what's your choice? You want 1 or 3 now, or do you want 11? And there's no defense to it when you think about it. You're just being absolutely ridiculous and stubborn and Midwestern-minded. And you need to man up and do the right thing for you and your family and not drop dead at 50. At least that's the idea. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So hey, there we go. Fun show today. Went off on some wild tangents, which is always fun. Get away from what you plan to do and do something else, and it's a lot of fun. Played a little chess for the first time in a long time. I didn't do very well, but that's nothing new. If you have any questions or comments, you can email me, David, at bowles.tv. You can find me on Twitter at David Bowles. Hey, you know who's a great man? Jeff Galloway. That's from Mr. Gordon. On Facebook, you can find us on BOLES, fb.com/BOLES. And on Instagram, we are Bowles Books. On TikTok, we're trying to slowly get into it. It seems like TikTok is now accepting any sort of video. It doesn't have to be just straight up and down, which we don't do. We do this way. So that's good. So we've been posting stuff yesterday. We have more stuff coming. Very good. Very happy that the TikTok is playing along. We are Bowles TV on TikTok. And find us on Discord. Our friend Access, who is new, not here today, but was here yesterday, has joined us on Discord. So we're so delighted to see her there and get her participating and working on it, and it's such a love. Can you post the TikTok link in the chat? I'm not even sure what our TikTok is, but I'm going to do it right now. Aha, I can. It is there. And a lot of these you've already seen. Oh, look at this. Oh. I'm overreacting because I'm very shocked. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at so it doesn't make sense. Okay, so let me go back to my main screen. This is the TikTok. Bowles TV on TikTok. I never know if it's one word or two. I guess it's one word. Tickensy Talkensy. And then here is our actual page. Now, the reason I'm oohing and awing this inbox, I didn't know I had an inbox. Oh, look at all that. Look at all that. See, we haven't really been doing anything on the Tickety Talkety. As you can see, the first thing we posted a long time ago is Jana doing a classifier about dog's ears. And at that time, they had to be very short. This is from our live stream, where she used to join us every Friday at 10:15, which I'm trying to go back to doing, but she's very busy. Had 545 views, which I was shocked to see yesterday because it didn't have any views before. And then I have Hikaru Nakamura, and then I have a tribute to Betty White, which got nothing. Then yesterday, I posted what we saw here before, Dancing in the Park. 70 views? That's shocking. Now I understand why people like the Tickety Talkety. Here's the subway thing we did last week, 63 views. I find that shocking. This is my Riddle Me This Batman that no one has solved yet. 64 views. Shocked. The tap dancing that was actually filmed up and down, so it should look really great on the Tickety Talkety. 67 views. I can't believe it. And hey, look at this. This is our Path Train station, sun up, sundown, 71 views. How is this happening? Why? I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't know why this has the TikTok bug down here. Why is that there? What does that mean? What are you doing? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, it's here? Very tiny. Oh, I can't even see it. Well, now I have to investigate. I don't know what's going on. But that's impressive. It's because TikTok videos get suggested to people. Yeah. And the reason I started using it is because we use Buffer to send out our social media updates. And I did not realize that Buffer can also send out video updates, because we have videos. And the reason I tested it yesterday is because Buffer said, hey, we now offer the Tickety-Tockety. So add your TikTok account and we'll post your videos to TikTok for you. I said, what? How is that possible? And then I discovered they will post video to Facebook and all of our other social media places. Now, what's interesting is some of these I put up from Buffer, right? And there's one that I didn't. It's this one. I think I posted it directly. And then it has the TikTok bug right here, which I can't see on this small screen. And I'm wondering if they put that TikTok bug there because I directly uploaded it to TikTok myself. I don't quite understand what's going on. Or maybe do they all have that TikTok thing? I'll have to investigate. I don't know. But I didn't put any special tags. I just gave it a title, a description like I do for all social media stuff. And it has all these interactions. Delightful. Now I have to really think about this. Because TikTok is the new Snapchat is the new Instagram. Everybody's on TikTok. I have to get caught up. So I guess I'll see you tomorrow or in a day or two. I hope you have a wonderful nap, a good wake up, and a terrific, long, and restful sleep. The heart loves nothing more than a good overnight sleep. Uninterrupted sleep. And the difference between getting 6 hours and 7 hours and 8 hours is about a 15-point difference in your HRV. Gordon says, thank you for having us. Thank you for being here, Commissioner. Wonderful show with you. And when ye shall awaken, may your soul be filled with joy and anticipation of the oncoming day. I'll see you tomorrow.